The number one reason why beginners struggle to make money online, why they struggle to start a business online, is by far because they quit too early, and I'm going to tell you why most people quit too early. But first, let me make sure that anybody who's brand new to this channel understands one thing, right? I put out videos every day. These videos are helpful to people who are starting a new business, and if that is you, I want you to go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Make sure you click the bell for notifications. Alright, so something I do a lot is I help people start businesses. I'm also a marketer on my full-time, full-time I'm a marketer, digital marketer. And I know that this is not just for beginners, but this is something that is consistent. If you own a business, if you run a business, a lot of times people have the idea that it should be fairly quick to see the type of results that they want. And a lot of times what happens that gets a new business owner to struggle and to fail is they expect a result to be huge, right? It doesn't even have to be the result, really. It could be, for example, I know someone who's starting a business, who's in the process of building their first products. They got a sample of their products and immediately were like, I wanted it to be this, and so they immediately go towards like, well, let me see if I can find a different product, or something changes, something in the plan changes, because now you're starting to see like, oh, well, it's not going to just necessarily roll out my way, right? And this is essentially something that Mike Tyson said, of all people, Mike Tyson, right? And Mike Tyson, obviously, if you are in my generation, you know who Mike Tyson is. You know him as probably one of the greatest fighters of all time. If you're younger, you may not have ever seen him. I implore you to look him up because he's incredible as a fighter. But one of the things he said is that everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And most new business owners, that first punch in the mouth gets you every time. Well, really, I'll say this, the first three, right? And those three things typically is this, right? If you even get past, right? And I'm not going to count the first hurdle, which is typically people start to imagine all of the things that could go wrong before they even start. I'm going to assume that you got past that and you're actually getting to the point where the work is being done, you're seeing some progress, but you are in the middle of either launching or haven't launched yet, or you just launched your business. So the first thing that'll get you, right, the first thing that'll really shut you down and make you feel like quitting is if you create your own product before you sell anything else, right, online, especially online, but even offline, right? If you have just any business, most people have a hard time just with the organizational and getting things up running, and they realize that it's like, oh, this is hard work. This is not easy. This is not like clocking in, right? And that's the second thing, right? When they realize that you get paid for the amount of value that other people believe that you've brought to them, and you don't get paid for anything else, a lot of times that's the second thing that gets people, right? And so you're doing work and work and work, and if you haven't done things in the proper order, right? If you haven't done your research and you don't know who your ideal customer is, you don't know what's valuable to them, then you could end up selling a product that no one wants. And that means that you won't sell any of the product, or you'll sell just enough to recuperate, or you might lose money. And a lot of times that is a huge thing, because you're putting in hours and you're expecting like, okay, a week or 2 weeks, month tops, right? And most people, especially when you're first starting your first business, I think most people don't realize like Coca-Cola only sold 12 bottles their first year. You get what I'm saying? Like, think about that. Like, Coca-Cola sold 12 bottles. People literally, I mean, they probably make billions of dollars, you know what I mean, like a month. And they started out by selling only 12 bottles. I say all that to say this. You have to have realistic expectations or you're going to get chopped out very quickly. All right? And so the third thing, and this is something that actually takes a little bit longer to get to, right? So obviously you got to put in work. You got to set realistic expectations. And finally, here's the thing. After you get moving and you're starting to build momentum, the thing that will take you down the fastest is life, right? You have something that you didn't expect to happen that comes up. Like, for example, I'm doing this video at night. It's 11:30 right now, or at least when I started. The reason why it's 11:30 is because I have my children here on every second weekend. So it's hard for me to do my videos because I also have my youngest child is autistic. So it's hard for me to do these videos, make sure that he's not getting into anything, make sure that my oldest son is doing the things he needs to do, so on and so forth. So a lot of it is just you've got life to take care of, and that will sometimes get in the way of business. And then on top of that, your business has more than one need from you. Like, so you can, for example, I do these videos, right? But I also have to make sure that I'm doing my work with the people that I help, and I have to make sure that I'm doing the work at my job because I actually do digital marketing as my day job for someone else's company. And on top of that, I have products and little sites here and there that I have, and you have to check up on all of it. And so organization is huge, right? Organization, time management, a lot of different skills goes into running a business long term. And ultimately, what will take you down is losing track of what needs to be done. Now, the best way to handle that problem is just to come into it understanding, like, okay, well, if I move the needle today, right? If today I only do one thing that moves me forward, what's the most important thing, right? And here's the hard part about that is that you have to think about that not just in business. You have to think about that as your business, your family, personal, a lot of different things, health, you know what I mean? And so realistically speaking, a lot of times what that ends up being, especially if you're like me where health is very important to you, you wake up earlier, you go to sleep later, you make a lot more sacrifices. And so ultimately for me, the third one is there's no real easy answer, at least not for me at this moment. But essentially you have to do what's in your best interest, not right now necessarily, but in the future. And sometimes that does mean, like for instance with me right now, I spent my whole day with my kids. And I'm very proud because I was able to, something that I do a lot with my oldest son, he wants to have his own business. He wants to make a quadrillion, like he literally says he wants to be a quadrillionaire. Right? And I don't discourage him at all, even though there's no such thing as a $250 billion in the world. But I want him to understand that being rich and having a lot of money are not necessarily the same thing. So what we did, as you guys know, there was a hurricane I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, that was pretty bad down in North Carolina, South Carolina, and the local radio station was taking donations. Well, what I did was I wanted to take him to donate. So we spent about $30 at the dollar store to get, like, toiletries and, baby stuff and, stuff that people need when they're, to take care of their body. And we went and donated this stuff. And at the end of it, I said, how do you feel? And he's like, yeah, pretty good. And I was like, why do you think we did that? And, we had this conversation. And I was able to help him see, like, hey, yeah, make your money, but the money is not, you're not actually in it for the money. There's only a certain amount of money that you actually need for yourself. And then after that, it's extra. It's stuff that you're going to throw at the wall, throw at problems. And you have to be able to understand that the money is only valuable if it's helping someone, right? So that means that you hire people. That means that you donate to people or donate to causes. And that, there's a lot more to it than just the business. And so I'm proud of that. And that's why for me right now, this video, doing this video late at night, I'm happy about it because of the fact that this crosses off what's important for me, and I also was able to do something important for myself and my family. And so ultimately there's no right or wrong answer. You have to do what's best for you when it comes to being able to take care of everything, because I don't believe in work-life balance. I believe that you take care of the things that need to be taken care of, and you have to sacrifice as much as you have to in order to get those things done. But anyway, don't let any of those things stop you. All right, always manage your expectations. Always know that it's going to be work. It's going to take you time. Some people get it right away, like especially certain business models. Like if I'm just primarily selling, day one I can make money as long as I get in front of the right people. But most of the time you're going to have to be consistent. Most of the time you're going to have to be patient, but you're also going to have to have a sense of urgency. Ultimately, you've got a lot ahead of you as a business owner, and you have years of hustle, years of grind to put in. So don't get short-sighted. Stay in it for the long term, and you'll see success. All right. Now, if you want to have the best understanding of how business works, it behooves you to take courses. It behooves you to invest in yourself and invest in your understanding of how your business should work, or how a business should work. And if you want, I have a resource down there. You can get started with Starter's Formula. Starter's Formula is a course that I put together to help you to learn how to start an online business in like 2-3 days. You could be able to make profit in 2 days. Realistically speaking, you're going to get leads. Pretty much any time you do this, you're going to get leads. Some people will get sales, but everyone by the end of that course will understand how to start a business. So go into the resource section if you want to get a free version of Starter's Formula to get yourself started. And yeah, that's it. I hope this video has helped you guys. It's been Mike Malbrough. Have fun. See you guys next video. Thanks for watching.